afternoon. My name is Matthew Axe. I'm the Wildfire and Forest Resiliency Coordinator with King Conservation District. For the past few weeks, I've been talking about how we can prepare our homes for a wildfire event. This week, I am going to take you through what I look for in a home risk assessment. When I look at a home's defensible space, the first place I start is at the home and what are the building materials. This home has an asphalt roof and metal gutters that appear to be free of those fine fuels that we have talked about in earlier blogs. Now remember, this is the leaves, the twigs, the needles that accumulate. This will improve this home's wildfire resiliency. Now we're going to take one step down and we're going to look at the siding. This siding is a wood composite siding. It will catch on fire. One of my recommendations is when and if possible, the homeowner change this to a hardy plank, a cement, or some type of ignition resistant materials. One of the things I evaluate is the ventilation of a home. This would be your crawl space and your attic ventilation. This home has about a 1/4 inch mesh, which is not recommended. One of the recommendations I would do would be to put 1/8 inch mesh on this vent and also your attic space ventilation, because it decreases the chance of a windblown ember getting into your home and starting a fire. As we walked around the house, one of the things we are noticing, we're looking at the fence. In this case, the fence is not touching the home, which is actually a great thing. If we can keep our fences off our home, it increases the chance of our home surviving a wildfire. One additional thing you could do if your fence is touching your home is put a metal mesh between your home and the fence, and or install a metal gate. This metal gate will break up those continuous fuels and the chances of a fire damaging your home. Let's keep on walking around the home. As we walked around the home, I also noticed that this home has skylights. Skylights can actually help accumulate those fine fuels on our roof. One of the things we can do is when we are cleaning off a room, make sure that we're cleaning off on the top of these skylights, making sure we're getting all the moss off our roofs. This will help increase your home's wildfire resiliency. Let's continue to walk on around. As I was walking around the home, what I was looking for also was the clearance between the ground and the siding. This home does have what's recommended, that's 6 to 8 inches, which will help a fire not attack the home. As I move on up, I notice that this home has double pane glass and screens that have not been damaged. The glass will actually give you an additional 20 minutes once that first pane breaks in a wildfire event, and the screen will then also stop any windblown embers from coming in the house. Let's continue to walk around. Now I've completed my evaluation of the home. Now we're going to move into that 0 to 5 feet of that immediate zone. This home has what we call hardscaping. This is that rock. It's a nice, great fuel break if maintained of all fine fuels. So what we're going to look for as we walk around is what other things could actually catch a house. One of the things we look at when we're conducting a risk assessment is what furniture you have on your patio. This homeowner has furniture that is flammable. In a wildfire event, what we recommend is you getting this out to about 30 feet from your home. Let's continue to walk. One of the things I look at is, can a surface fire reach the home? This home does not have a hardscape material separating the home from its lawn. One of the things we can recommend is that first 3 to 5 feet of your defensible space, hardscaping, adding those rocks, pavers, concrete, to have a no fuel zone around the home. This will decrease the chances of a fire damaging your home. Let's continue to walk. When I do a risk assessment that has vegetation within the first 3 to 5 feet like this home, what I do is I recommend them to increase spacing between their shrubs and prune their trees up to 6 to 10 feet. And making sure anything smaller than that they don't prune over 1/3 of the tree. This would decrease your ladder fuels and your continuous fuels. And we always have to maintain that dead and dense debris like we said before. So when evaluating their immediate zone, what we found that this homeowner needed to do was, when if possible, they needed to change their siding out. They needed to do some hardscaping within that first 3 to 5 feet, and also needed to make sure they maintain that dense and dead vegetation. What we're going to do now is we're going to go on into that 5 to 30 feet around the home's defensible space. That is that intermediate zone. This is when we're looking at ladder fuels, looking if they have a lean, clean, and green defensible space. Let's take a walk. Well, as I was walking through, what I noticed about this home, it's 25 to 30 feet has some hardscaping and also has some green lawn. With the hardscaping, as long as it's maintained free of those fine fuels that we talked about, it creates a fire break and increases the chance of this home surviving. Again, maintaining their lawn green and mowed to about 4 inches or shorter will improve this home's overall wildfire resiliency. Let's continue to walk. Well, what we've noticed and we've talked about earlier is working with your neighbors when you live in a community. This home's 30 foot would actually go onto their neighbor's property on both sides. What I would recommend is them working with their neighbors to improve their overall wildfire resiliency because of the interlocking zones. As we talked earlier, sheds are a concern when you have them on your property within 30 feet of your house. This home does have sheds within 30 feet. How we mitigate for this is we actually treat these as our home and we create a defensible space around them. That will create interlocking zones from your sheds to your home, or move these out to 30 feet. In this case, these sheds are creating ladder fuels. How they're doing that is you have a tree overhanging with fine fuels and accumulation behind them. Recommend hardscaping around them, and also pruning this tree up would decrease those ladder fuels and improve this home's wildfire resilience. As we talked about earlier, maintaining your lawn lean, clean, and green is what improves your immediate zone. This lawn appears to be a mow to about 4 inches or shorter, and it's green. As the summer comes on and our lawns like to go dormant, maintaining these lawns by watering will actually improve your home's resiliency. Let's move on to the extended zone. Now that we've moved on to the extended zone, this home's extended zone looks and appears to be a forested area. One of the recommendations we do is ensure that clump trees have crowns that are 6 feet apart, and also just maintain this area as a healthy Western Washington ecosystem. For homes that don't have an extended zone, we are going to talk about evacuation and how we can improve our access for emergency services. When we're looking at that extended zone, one of the things we're looking at is access. Does a driveway have vegetation growing into it or over it? And also we're looking for address signage. This home has a driveway that's at least 12 feet wide that has no vegetation encroaching on it. This would allow emergency service to easily access the property and home. One of the issues that I did see when I was assessing this home was it didn't have signage that emergency services could easily find. One of the recommendations is to put a reflective sign that is contrasting to its background to make sure that emergency service can find your home easily and effectively. Thank you for joining us for this video. I hope it helps everyone prepare for their home for a wildfire. Look forward to seeing you later.